Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Thank you guys for being here, I appreciate it. Let me get a few things set up here. There we go. I think right away today we're gonna go grind on maybe some gorillas. There should be a gorilla quest that we can take at this level. Is it scaring shaky? I think it is.
You need something?
5 Mistveil giblets to shaky.
Have a good one.
Let's see. Yeah, we should be able to do that.
Hey there.
Lael, welcome, man. Yeah, everything's good. Thanks for being here. Virtual Echo, Mark Oz. Plastic Nerd, welcome, guys. Speak with Stoli in Steamweedle Port. Where is Steamweedle Port?
For the Alliance.
Oh, our quest log is full. Perfect. Mr. Eon X, thank you, man. We'll try not to die. David, welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. We have a full quest log. What am I going to drop? Probably this one for now. Alright.
Greetings. Be careful.
So, why don't I know where Steamweedle Port is? Where is Steamweedle Port? Remo, thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the stream. Yeah, Plastic Nerd, we did change our talents recently. This is what we're going with right now. We went back into a Seal of Command build because of the slower two-handed weapon we now have. And we grabbed 5 points in Divine Strength. But yeah, that's it. Steamweedle's in the south of Tanner's. Oh, okay. Oh, or maybe... Yeah, maybe it is Tanner's. Mm-hmm. That's Theramore. Closer. Yeah, it must be this over here, right? Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, I think for now I want to come up here. I want to go after the gorillas. Those will be at a pretty decent level, so they'll be good kill experience for us. And I don't think they'll have any surprises. Like, for sure they're not going to run. And they're not going to cast fire at us. So yeah, that's good. We have 21 waters though. How about we just go back and buy a bunch more water? Yeah, Plastic Nerd, I think what confused people is that I respect at the end of the episode where we got the mount, and I had no interest in doing the spec that day. So a lot of people saw me refund the talent points. Now the funny thing about that is we got into the next day, and I fought a bunch of stuff with 0 talent points, and I actually didn't feel a big difference. We were grinding here in Stranglethorn, I think, when I realized that I had never committed my talents, and that we had been talentless for like the last 20 minutes. And it didn't seem to affect the flow of combat, which is the weird part. Whitney, good afternoon, and thank you for stopping by. Yeah, it was a weird sign because yeah, I felt that by not committing any of my talents, I should have felt a big power difference, but I didn't feel any power difference, which means, you know, either something really off about me personally or something off about how much power you actually get from talents in vanilla era. Like maybe outside of a few key things, you know, there's not that much power worked in percentage wise because we were fighting at level guys. Now granted, I guess we only fought like 3 or 4 of them, so maybe if I had been at it a little bit longer, maybe it would have become apparent, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think someone did eventually end up reminding me. I don't even think I realized it on my own. It was one of those things, yeah, I did the respec at the end of that day, and then I was like so relieved to have hit 40 and got the mount that I just didn't think about it again. And speaking of the mount, let's go ahead and mount up. Lael, I'm glad to hear that, man. Yeah, I'm glad you guys didn't get hit by that. It seems like you've had enough bad weather, you know, without more stacked on top of it. Mike, welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. Yeah, the headpiece is cool. It looks cool. I like it, and also we got a lot more strength out of it, I think. The one we had on, it was not strength. It was edge stamina, I believe. And yeah, we replaced it with one with a bunch of strength on it, which I feel like is going to be better. I haven't checked Wowhead post maintenance today, but I'm assuming there's no news about anything classic related. Usually I check Wowhead by this point in the day, and I just haven't. Every week I kind of think like maybe the Diablo hype is down enough that they'll tell us a little bit about the hardcore servers. And every week they don't. Yesterday I kind of had the thought that maybe they're not sure what they're going to do with them yet. Maybe there's a lot of debate about how they want them to work, and maybe that's why we haven't heard any specifics. Monica, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. David, do you think they're still riding the D4 hype? Yeah, maybe. I've disengaged from it, so I guess I really wouldn't know. They still need to get their 13 plus page update into D4. Yeah, fair enough. If they're still really focused on D4 and like that's where the hype is at right now, then I totally get why we're not hearing anything about the hardcore servers. And basically we can expect to see them in September, like late August, September at this point, I would say. I don't really want 2 of these boys on us. We could pop a potion here. Oh, that was a huge potion. Okay, I might have saved that one had I realized that. Okay, still kind of getting beat on. Let's get a big heal in. Ah, Miles, that's a good point. Season 1 starts in mid-July. So yeah, to them, it's like, you know, Diablo 4 got to have 6 different releases. It got to have early access release, it got to have, like, street date release, and now it gets to have, like, Season 1 release. It's a bunch of releases for one game. Yeah, they definitely tripled down on that. I remember, like, on Battle.net, the timer counting down till, like, the early release, and then as soon as that was up, the new timer counting down to street date was, like, super cringe. And then, yeah, they have to wait for, you know, Season 1 to actually start. That's their actual launch. Oh god, 2 of them again. Yeah, I don't want to do 2 of them again. I keep pulling 2 of them. We are just going to get out of here. And stop running at these guys. Yeah, Lael, the head of the hardcore app community was the dude behind the RXP add-on. Yeah. I kind of already knew that. It was at least like, you know, Blizzard was working with those people to like kind of establish what their hardcore rules were going to be because of where they were at in that community. Agi for the Paladin is really good. Yeah, but I don't think it is at the cost of strength, though. I think strength is going to be better as a core stat, right? And then we get agility if we want some agility, if we have the opportunity for it. Alex, good afternoon, man. Maybe Blizz is just letting some of that like negative hype about the hardcore people. Maybe they're waiting for that to like fade away a bit, like the negativity about it before they talk about it. But yeah, with the D4 season, I guess we're not going to hear anything for a while. And then yeah, so maybe sometime in September. These... Okay, we're good. Jackie Joe, good afternoon. Thank you for stopping by. Miles, you're having fun on the Necromancer in Diablo 4? That's cool. Yeah, I did kind of think to myself, you know, maybe there would be a class that like I'd resonate with that would be fun to push the buttons. I just couldn't give it the time it would have taken to like, I would have had to play every class. And I would have had to try like the different specs that are different, you know, and like maybe eventually I could have found one that the buttons were just like super fun. I just wasn't going to put the time into it to get to that point. Oh man, these guys aggro together and it's crazy. These guys were really far apart. I'll try to drop him and at least leash this one, but not run into this guy. Yeah, let's go this way a bit. Okay, we didn't leash him. Let's get a big heal. The German, how can you start in WoW Hardcore? Well, the first thing you want to do is in your Battle.net browser, you want to install Classic Era World of Warcraft. You will need to have an active subscription to the game to do that. And then, oh, we got a hyper spawn here. And then depending on whether you're in the EU or you're in the States, you're going to find the server you want to go on is going to either be Hydraxian Waterlords for EU or Bloodsail Buccaneers for the States. You're going to want to go to CurseForge and install the Hardcore add-on. And then just make sure you have the Hardcore add-on when you fire up the Classic Era client before you create your character. And yeah, that's it. There is no like official Hardcore server right now, so we're using an add-on to track character progress. And the Hardcore communities are on Bloodsail Buccaneers in the States and Hydraxian Waterlords in the EU. Yeah, Miles, the same start is like kind of a big deal for me. Like, yeah, trying different classes literally means just playing on the same map over and over and over, doing the same starting events over and over. You know, as opposed to sometimes like in an MMO, you'll have different zones at least you can start off in. So like while you're trying new classes, you can see some different stuff. It makes trying new classes in a game like WoW like a lot more appealing than a game like Diablo. Where it's like, yeah, I could try every class, but that's doing the same content so many times. Which is going to be not enjoyable, which is going to lead into how I feel about the buttons I'm pushing, and it's like, it's almost not even like giving them a fair shot when I have to do the same content again and again. Yeah, Lael, I think that would be right. I think the way they have to separate themselves is by letting time pass mostly. Like, firstly, I hope they're not talking or working with these people anymore to establish the actual hardcore server rules. But yeah, secondly, I think for Blizzard now, the only time that, you know, they keep stepping in these fucking shit piles, it's their own fault. They're fine for a while, then they just step in a giant pile of shit. And they're like, oh man, like, what did we do? Well, you didn't really do your research, you didn't really get to know these people, you didn't really dig into their content or who they are as humans, and you started to collab with them. And so you collab with them, and it turns out they're a bunch of asshats. And yeah, now you have to wait a bunch of time for people to kind of forget. You know, we're not going to forget, but they can use time to like distance themselves from it. And it feels like there probably is a little bit of that going on. Holly, good afternoon. Thanks for being here. Alright, we are done with the quest, so we can keep grinding on these guys for a bit. That being said, they are pretty chunky. So I don't really know if I want to do that. It's a good experience, though, especially while we have some rested XP. Felipe, hello, man. Thanks for being here. Yeah, see, it's all these two-pulls. It's all the two-pulls that make this kind of a tough area. Let's pull this one away while he has separated himself a bit. And we'll fight him back here up the hill. I don't think anybody else spawns back here. Sarah, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. Maybe someday, Felipe, but nothing in the works right now for that. Right now, the immersive stuff I'm doing is mainly on the Night Elf. And I'm gonna do that one at least. I'm gonna do Teldrassil full playthrough and Darkshore full playthrough with hopefully an Ashenvale full playthrough before I move on to any other zones and any other immersive stuff. And yeah, I'd love to be able to do more of the immersive content, but the way that the YouTube algorithm is, like if I start cranking out episode 1s of like different immersive content, then the algorithm is gonna tank me. So I always have to be conscious of like how much of a similar type of content can I actually put up. And right now I'm kind of at the pace that I can be at for that stuff. Ra, good afternoon, man. Thanks for stopping by. We're just fighting the sketchiest of gorillas. For no real good reason. I probably don't need to be grinding on these guys right now, but they give pretty good kill XP. Let's go check out what level the trolls are at. We need to get a bunch of troll tusks. So let's go see. They can't be much more difficult than the gorillas, except that, like, from my memory, some of them have pets. So that could be tough to deal with. But yeah, I'd like to be working on a quest, I think. So let's go check it out. Nicholas, yeah, absolutely. The Paladin is a remarkable class for hardcore. And it's allowed us to live through stuff that probably would have killed any other class. Nikolai, I'm well, man. Thanks for asking. Thanks for being here. Assuming I get to 60, do I plan on retiring the Pally or grinding any endgame content? I don't have any big plans on this character to do a bunch of endgame content. My hope is that by the time we get this character to 60, either the official hardcore servers will already have been out for a bit, or they will be out soon. And I wouldn't mind doing some endgame stuff. I don't have a big interest in doing like hardcore raiding, because in 40-man raids, like, people are gonna die. Like, absolutely, it's gonna happen. And so for me, that would be like, okay, well, I would assume the character would die if we do a hardcore raid. For me, once I hit 60, like, I'm good. That was the challenge, and after that, I really don't have any big plans. I've never been an endgame farmer, like farming endgame, not for a long time. And if I wanted to do like a bunch of endgame stuff, like consistently farming endgame, it probably wouldn't be in vanilla era. If I'm gonna do endgame stuff in vanilla era, it's probably gonna be in the new season of vanilla that we get at the end of the year. You know, they talked about a new season similar to Season of Mastery. And I feel like if I wanted to do endgame stuff and really engage with that, I'd rather do it in that kind of setting. And I'll leave the hardcore raids to other folks who like to have that content. These are not the people I need. I need trolls. Let's go a little bit further to the north. Yeah, I mean 40-man raids are big enough. I don't have a large interest in 40-man raiding because to me that's too many people. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. I'd love to see 10 or 25-man versions of the 40-man raids for like seasonal content. If they can do like some kind of thing where they can do 10, 25, and 40 and have it kind of be like a different loot that you can progress through, I think that would be pretty cool for seasonal content if they can't just straight up make new dungeons, new raids. Oh, really, Lael? I did not know that. I kind of remember the planes running ability. Wasn't that in the game for a while? That made it into like vanilla release, didn't it? Because I swear way back in the day, like I've seen it like either on my friend's character or a character that I'd leveled. I could have swore. Maybe I saw like YouTube footage of it back in the day or something. But I feel like planes running for Tauren was actually in the game for a bit. And then I guess people didn't like it. Did they not like it because it took the place of the mount? Was that why they didn't like they didn't get a mount, they just got planes running and people were like, nah, Tauren should get a mount? Because I swear I remember seeing it. Could have been the alpha or beta. Yeah, I try to think like would I have seen any alpha or beta footage? Yeah, I'm sure my friend at the time was in the beta. So yeah, maybe I did see it in beta. Maybe it wasn't anything that I ever experienced directly. I just have this very visual memory of like watching a Tauren like sprint really fast. Like as soon as you said that, I had this image in my head. Interesting. They had to run for 5 seconds before it started taking effect. Okay, so it wasn't even like an ability they hit. They just started running and then they would start running really fast. Taking forever to get up to full speed. Okay. Yeah, see, that stuff I don't remember, which tells me that that's whatever memory I have must have been a memory of like observing it from a distance. That still sounds really cool. It's too bad they couldn't have that, like, keep that and get mounts, you know what I mean? Because that sounds like really flavorful for the race. That they should be able to plane stride like that makes perfect sense. Maybe it could have been like slower, you know how like you get Ghost Wolf on the Shaman, stuff like that. Maybe they could have kept it but made it like a slower speed increase, so it could have been like a cool flavor thing that Tauren got, you know, on the way to getting their mount. Would have been perfect. But I guess then they might be like an overplayed race if the whole race got access to like a speed boost at like level 30 or something. You would probably see a lot more Tauren, which wouldn't be a bad thing. So these trolls seem a little bit easier to kill than the gorillas, and we can work on this quest. I think like the important part though is that we don't go too far back into their little village. We're gonna have to hunt the ones out here that are far away. Oh yeah, the Worgen do get some kind of run, don't they? They modified it, renamed it, gave it to the Worgen, and called Running Wild. Well, that's not cool. I feel like Tauren should have been able to get that too. There are a couple of elite in the back of the troll place. Plastic nerd? Yeah, all the more reason not to go back there. Yeah, that's right, there's like a cave and there's like an elite and 2 other guys, or maybe it's like straight up 3 elites. In Classic Era, it's probably straight up 3 elites. Six is good morning to you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Unfortunately, I think a couple other players have the same idea about farming them out here. We can probably get a little bit closer without, like, actually going into the city. Ooh, what do we have here? Oh, good. We have a 3 patrol here. We definitely don't want to mess with them. I'm going to put a little mark on them so that if they happen to have a really, really big patrol and we see them again, we can get a little bit of a heads up. So I would rather not have them run into me. Especially not while we're fighting other things. Yeah, Leo, that's a good point. There should be, if they're going to give it to somebody on the Alliance side, they should have to give it to somebody on the Horde side too. I'm surprised that there wouldn't have been like more a protest about that back when that first came out. Yeah, that group of trolls is looking for someone's run to end. Absolutely. We have a 41 human mage here. Let's check his hardcore tab. Oh shit, boys. Oh wait, it was blank and then it was there. I don't know what that means, but you guys saw it. There was nothing there for a minute. Thought we had a disabled hardcore add-on in our midst. Maybe he was fine. It did say pass once we finally got into it. Chase, good afternoon. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today, but this place is actually crawling with people at our level, which hasn't really been the case recently. But yeah, this is us going into the troll area, which, yeah, we kind of said we didn't want to do. Let's take a little peek up on the hills here and see what we've got. Oh yeah, that's great. That's what you like to see right there. Let's make you like a diamond or something, so that we don't just straight up run into you. Oh, there's 4 of them there. Oh, that's wonderful. This place looks like more dangerous maybe than any cave. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think going in here necessarily is a good idea. Unless this is about as close as I want to get. I was hoping maybe we could tag some people like nearby, but all I see is this hunter guy here, and I don't want to deal with him. So yeah, we might be very limited. There's the cave, I think, with the elites in it. We might be very limited on which of these guys we can fight, because we're probably going to have to stay out of here. Yeah, enemies around all corners, David says. Lots of wandering mobs. Yeah, we're not going to go into the walls. We'll try to just stay out on the outskirts, and we'll just have to be content with finding whatever we can. We might have to work in some guerrilla farming to kind of fill the space between kills, so that we're not being just horribly inefficient running around in circles. See, they were chasing somebody, or they are currently chasing somebody. Oh yeah, I don't think we can get involved with that, unfortunately. Let's just hope they can survive it. Not what I would be doing on a warrior, but it looks like they're going to be okay. Yeah, we'll play it safe. We'll stay out here. We'll just be happy to fight whatever we can. I don't really feel like pushing too hard today. The proc we got... Oh shit, that's a group. The proc we got might have been Vengeance. Might have been Vengeance. I'm not sure though. Miles, that would be awesome if a one-hander could drop and we could try out Protection Spec for a while. That would make me really happy. Preferably while the blue shield we have is still like semi-relevant for us. So yeah, there's another group of 3 over here. They are currently harassing a gnome warlock. And again, I'm hoping they can get away because I really can't afford to get involved in that. Yeah, it looks like he's fine. Okay, yeah, everybody's having problems out here with these guys. It's not just us. We have to let them kind of reset. Can we grab... Ooh, nope, they're together. Okay, so we can't grab them. Let's try to scoot around. This warlock's also going to try to grab this guy. I should not have dismounted quite yet. There we go. Still probably not the safest place to be, but we'll try to keep our head on a swivel. Mount is allowed in hardcore, you ask? Yes, if you can live long enough to get your mount, you can have a mount, yeah. Absolutely. You don't get to have a mount until level 40 anyway, and it costs a crap ton of gold unless you are a paladin or a warlock. So, you know, 98% of hardcore characters never get to have a mount because they just don't make it. Like, these guys are like screwing life up for everybody. We're gonna make you a circle. There we go. They are wrecking life for everybody trying to fight these trolls today. Sam, good afternoon, man. Thanks for being here. You think if we had a prot spec, we could fight all 3 of those guys, Ra? We probably could. I still think that I wouldn't. But yeah, we probably could. I wonder if I could pull this one, though. No, you're an axe thrower. You're gonna stand there and you're gonna throw axes and then eventually you're gonna like call for help or something stupid. Okay, the search continues. Yeah, Alex, it's good, isn't it? It feels super good to get them out in hardcore. It's like, it feels like such an accomplishment. It was a good day. Jungle Thunderer. Okay, sure. Alex, your mount almost got you killed? Were you like running through a bunch of packs? Foxayo, thank you. I appreciate that. Which expansion do I like the most? I don't know. These days I just say Burning Crusade because Burning Crusade was the classic expansion we had the least amount of time with. But I don't know if that would actually be true. Like if I had 2 years with Burning Crusade, would I still feel the same way? I'm not sure. But yeah, these days I say Burning Crusade. There's got to be only junk left in this, but we'll check it anyway. Yeah, I've tried not to run through too many enemies on the mount. Yeah, we did get dismounted for the first time the other day in Feralus. So I did get dismounted, but at that time it was like one mob that dismounted me. So you guys are patrolling, and you guys don't have a cute little icon, so you guys are gonna get the star. Yeah, Lale, most doctors would agree, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do for sustenance. And it could be worse. It could be like a breakfast Hot Pocket. Some dehydrated eggs. A Hot Pocket is a disgusting form of processed and manufactured food. Yeah. It's basically like meat scraps, some liquid fake cheese wrapped in a fake bread-like pocket, and you microwave it to cook it. Unless you're like really fancy, then I guess you could put it into like an air fryer. It's frozen box food. Yeah. Like I think frozen box food describes it pretty well. Yeah, I mean, it's like sometimes you just gotta be able to microwave some food and eat it. And that's what a Hot Pocket is for. Yeah, this is definitely a paid ad from Hot Pocket. JC, I hope you feel better. Thanks for being here and hanging out. Pizza toppings wrapped in terrible crust. Yeah. Let's not talk about the breakfast Hot Pockets. I don't want to get nauseous on stream. I want there to be air quotes around that eggs and bacon. Because yeah, I have questions. John Gray, I am having a good stream. Thanks, man. You were wondering if I had stopped getting the green completed quest notification after you finish a quest. Yours went away. You know what? Johnny was saying something about that yesterday. And I don't know what you guys are talking about with it. Because maybe it was a setting that I never had on. The green quest completed notification. I don't know if I ever got that. So I was trying to, because I can't imagine what you guys are even talking about when you say that. I thought about it when Johnny was having the issue, and maybe I'm just misunderstanding. Or it might be a setting that I just don't have on, or maybe something I never noticed. Was it like a pop-up that came onto the screen when you completed a quest that was in green text? Because the only green text I ever see out of Questie is when I have green quests that are lower level. That's like the only green text that I have noticed out of Questie. Yeah, the plastic nerd, wonder no more. They don't taste good. They don't taste good. It's like hot cardboard and meat bits with a sticky substance that probably isn't actual cheese. Yeah, John, maybe I never noticed it, or maybe I did notice it, and I just don't notice that there was a change made. I'm not sure, because like I said, somebody told me about it yesterday too, and I tried to think about what they were saying, and I still didn't realize. Let's see. Do I have any completed quests right now? So right now, Scaring Shaky is completed. Oh, okay, I see. Like, so Scaring Shaky is here, but yeah, it doesn't say completed. That's what you're talking about. It's not notifying me here that we're actually done with this. Okay. Yep, that's a thing. Are we sure there's not like a setting that we need to like re-click in order to maybe turn that on? Tracker, show completed quests. Okay, yeah, that's on. It just isn't showing it as completed. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other options that could relate to that. Hide completed quest objectives. Okay, that's weird. Auto minimize. You can have it auto minim. Oh, look at that. Look. If you click auto minimize completed quest, it'll minimize them when they're done, and then it will say complete. Not in green, fair, but in yellow. So yeah, I'm going to leave this checked. Auto minimize completed quest. That way it just shows us complete. And that looks like it may be as close as you get to like having that setting back, because I didn't see anything else. I don't have any moral problems with Pop-Tarts. Yeah, I think a Pop-Tart is fine. I think the fact that they put 2 of them in a package is disgusting, because I don't think a person should eat 2 Pop-Tarts back to back. That's like a shit ton of sugar that your body doesn't need and never asked for. But I think like having a single Pop-Tart is fine. Yeah. Like, I'll let my kid have a Pop-Tart sometimes if he wants a Pop-Tart, you know. He's not gonna... I don't want him to eat both the Pop-Tarts in the package. That's too much. Can I pull this guy out of here? Probably not. These guys are probably linked together. They're probably linked together and linked to 5 other guys that we don't see hiding behind the wall. So, it's probably not a good idea to mess with them. I think we have Pop-Tarts in the snack drawer, like right now, this minute. I don't usually eat them because I try not to eat things with a lot of sugar, but they're good for a kid in a pinch. Yeah, it's probably still too much sugar for a kid, but Sometimes you gotta pick your battles. The alternative would be that I make him a fried egg instead, and like I already do that at night when he wants like a sweet treat at night. I usually make him some fried eggs, so that he at least gets like protein and amino acids and not like more sugar. Yeah, plastic nerd, I kind of believe that, but I also believe that sugar is just bad for the human body. The doctors pretty much say now, like, they're like, oh, first we thought we needed like 40 grams of sugar a day, and then we found out we really only needed 12 grams of sugar a day, and now they're kind of like, yeah, the human body doesn't really need any sugar. So that's all. I just hate shit where I hate stuff where like most of the calories is from sugar. People are like, oh, it's low fat and low carb. Oh, that's great. Oh, look, it has 30 grams of sugar in it. That's where all your calories are coming from. You don't get any calories from the fat. You're not getting any calories from the carbs. So now what you got is a bunch of sugar. Or you got like a bunch of sweetener. Brother Jerry, yeah, in America that's absolutely true. It does cost a bit more money to actually eat healthy food. But what it also costs in America that people are less willing to give as well is it costs time. It costs time to eat healthy, because yeah, like instead of giving my kid a Nutrigrain bar, I can cook him a fried egg. So it's like, not only do you need the money, you know, but you also have to be in a position where you have the time and you're willing to take the time to prepare yourself meals that are a bit healthier. And with a lot of people's lives, you know, people's lives a lot of times are go, 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 go. You know, they don't have or don't feel like they can spend the time necessary to prepare a meal or some food that is a little bit healthier than like something that we microwave or something out of a box or some fast food. So it's a time thing too. It's a cultural time thing and also a money thing. You know, you're talking about a country where, for the most part, if someone is really lucky, they get to take a half hour to eat their lunch, which isn't really time to like seek out, prepare, or eat anything healthy. So yeah, and then shit's expensive if you want to eat healthy, especially if you want to eat healthy and you want to have someone else make and prepare the food for you. Like you want to go to a place and have them serve you healthy food. That's going to cost a bunch because you're saving on your own time in that case. Yeah, Lael, when I was single, I had a very like broken down diet. I would eat like plain noodles, I would eat egg noodles, I would eat like spaghetti, and I would eat eggs. So like I tried to keep, and like bread, I'd eat lots of bread and cheeses. So I tried to keep the things that I ate when I was single like super simple, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to prepare like delicious meals for myself that were also healthy. So I just stuck to like really basic stuff, you know, like noodles with some butter. Egg noodles with a little bit of butter, eggs, scrambled eggs, and I just stuck to basic stuff like that. I would eat like mainly the same things every day, and that was kind of how I made sure that I was eating okay when I lived on my own. Luckily, I don't drink any soda. I had to quit soda when I was like 17 years old. The doctor said I was hypoglycemic, which meant that my pancreas made too much insulin. It was like overacting basically, and anything like soda, candy, I had to cut all that shit out when I was like 17. Because they were like, you can either stop drinking soda and eating candy, or you can have diabetes in a couple years. And I was like, oh, okay, well that's a pretty simple choice. So it made it really easy for me to quit soda, because it felt like at the time it was like a medical emergency type of thing. That's how they phrased it to me, and that's how like my teenage brain really took it to heart. How they made it seem like super dangerous, and I was like, okay, they're serious about this, and I just went cold turkey. No soda, no candy, no sweet shit. And yeah, it worked out. It worked out. And then by the time I started to actually get healthier and like started to exercise and stuff, I had a decent base for like my diet not being complete garbage. So I got lucky in that regard. Mr. Eon, you missed the last 30 minutes. Nothing happened. We're fighting trolls now and trying not to go into their little town to get killed. Besides that, we're having a long conversation about food. And yeah, you haven't missed much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say if you don't want to get super hungry, then chat might not be the place to be right now. So this is kind of what we've been on. Yeah, Miles, in the States at least too, I do think it is partially like people don't feel like they have the time to make healthy food, and that kind of makes it seem more expensive, because then what they think is like, well, I don't have the time to eat healthy, so if I want to eat healthy, I have to go to a place that serves healthy food, and I have to get it from them, and that's going to cost more money than maybe preparing it myself. And you know, you can eat healthy depending on times of the year. Like different produce will be more or less expensive, obviously, depending on what season it is. And you know, there are ways to eat healthy and have it not be super expensive, but what it does is like that's going to severely limit your diet, which a lot of people, especially in the States, they want to eat lots and lots of different things. And yeah, because you can have a simple diet of like noodles and breads and cheeses and eggs, and like you can do that, and it's not super expensive. But what you're not getting is like awesome meals that are balanced against each other. You know, it's different. And you know, people have so many different ideas on what it means to eat healthy. You can ask 5 different people and you will get 5 different answers. You know, based on the things that they've learned in their life or what they've heard or been told. Everyone's going to give you a different answer. And so for some people, eating healthy does mean it's going to be super expensive. Whereas like for me, I felt like I ate healthy by just eating very basic staples. That, you know, those things were not expensive. But my diet was not very, very varied. And shit wasn't very tasty, which I didn't mind. But a lot of people do. John, sugar kills gains. Yeah, I got lucky. By the time I started exercising, I'd already cut out sugar. That was never a battle I had to fight. Brother Jerry, that's a good point. Yeah, depending on what neighborhood you are in, you might not have like close access to like a grocery store that sells a lot of fresh produce and good stuff. Yeah, you might be around like dollar stores, and we call them party stores in Michigan. Party store is like a little corner shop that sells your beer, sells your liquor, and it'll have some things like bread and canned stuff, some boxed mac and cheese, some canned beans. But yeah, you're not going to go find a bunch of fresh produce. So definitely depending on like the area that you live in, and then of course considering that people that are prone to live in those low income areas are also people that don't have vehicles where they can drive very far to get to a better store, so they're just kind of stuck. There's lots of things systemically and culturally that lead people to not eat well. There is no like one reason why. There are unfortunately so many reasons why a lot of people don't eat well. If there were only a couple reasons, like it'd be a lot easier, I think, for people to get a handle on it. But there's just so many different factors at work. Tactical, that sounds delicious and well balanced and healthy. Yeah, tuna garlic sub, awesome. Now, but someone would say, well, you know, you got all those carbs, and then all of a sudden we're right back to like everybody having vastly different ideas of what's healthy. Ultimately, what's going to be healthy for you depends on your body, because everyone's body is super different. It's going to depend on like your metabolism, your tolerances to things. Where are we at with this quest? Have we been getting any items? Yeah, we have. 10 out of 18. That's not bad for me not really paying attention to the fighting at all. So you guys are lucky I had a big breakfast, so, and by breakfast I mean it was more like lunchtime. So I'm not gonna get hungry no matter how much we talk about food right now. Jason, good afternoon, man. My favorite character that I've made so far, I mean, like, in my life, that's a hard one, man. I've made about a bazillion characters. Right now, playing hardcore, the character that's my favorite is the one that's keeping the playthrough alive. So, right now, you're looking at it. Throughout history, hard to say. As far as classes, I gravitate towards, like, a warrior. Warrior, mage. Those are some of my favorite classes. The Paladin's up there, but in Classic Era, the Paladin is quite different than it is at other points in history throughout the game. Alex, no, we have not done that undead quest in Desolus. That is a good call out. We are basically at the point where we can do that one. It was like level 39, right? I'm pretty sure we can do that one. Am I in a safe spot to open the map? Sort of. Alright, let's see. Yeah, down the Scarlet Path. Okay. Yeah, we can do that for sure. Next time we're like scrounging for like a quest to do that's not going to be too hard, we will head out that way. And that's a big beefy kill quest, I think, too. That'd be a nice way to start off with, you know, with some rested experience, like go right into that. Maybe we can't see their hardcore tab, yeah, while they're in combat. Okay, so not only does your hardcore tab not work when you're in combat, you can't view someone else's hardcore tab while they're in combat. So when we see the blank hardcore tab, they're fighting something. There's a quest in that same place, Alex, where the undead are at. Ghost Plasm Roundup. Huh. Okay. I didn't see that one. Bone collector. Ah, okay. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, if there's 2 of them, that's awesome if they're in like the same area or even like a similar area. One of them is fighting skeletons and one of them is fighting slimes. Is that right? Jason, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I've made tons of characters over time. It's been 20 years of characters for me, absolutely. I love fighting the Mystics. We're getting so many big crits fighting the Mystics. Feels pretty good. Oh, it's one of the drop the box and then kill the things. Put the box down and then kill then some ghosts spawn. Okay, okay, a little bit different. Hmm. Yeah, I think as far as like a crit class, I think the Arms Warrior is probably my favorite class to go after crits. We've been doing pretty good on the Paladin, yeah, especially with the Seal of Command build, but I still feel like the Arms Warrior is the most fun when it comes to just enormous crits. Kind of makes me sad. I've put the Warrior on like a no-fly list for hardcore, so I don't think we'll ever get to try another Warrior. In hardcore, at least. And you know, I did a Warrior the last season of Mastery, so I don't really want to do another Warrior for the season. I think I'm gonna do a Warlock for the seasonal stuff, but yeah, it kind of makes me feel bad about the Warrior because I don't know when will be the next time that we get to play it in Classic Era. I feel like trying a hardcore run with it, for me especially in the way that I play, would just be a death sentence. I would be signing myself up to fail. With all the trouble we've gotten into on the Paladin that we've barely gotten out of, I just don't know how I could make a Warrior live. A tactical, that's awesome, man. Yeah, the longer you can go, eventually you will go to taste something sweet, and it will be too sweet to you, and it will be disgusting, and it will be something that you used to like, and you'll have a little sip and you'll be like, oh, this is gross. Like, eventually that will happen. Eventually your body stops wanting sugar and starts kind of being turned off by it. And to me, that was like one of the biggest signs. I'm like, yeah, if my body eventually came to like just kind of be disgusted by sugary things, that's probably a good sign that it was never something that my body needed in any like quantity. So yeah, when I think about stuff like Mountain Dew and all the soda I drank as a kid, I get like nauseous thinking about it. Like, I can't imagine that I could finish a glass of soda without immediately depositing it somewhere else outside of my body. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Alex, I'd say focus on the Warlock. Definitely, and your Warrior had Blacksmithing, so it's like, if you don't have to do Blacksmithing, that's awesome. That's like a big win right there. Not having to farm up all that ore. Definitely worth it. Tommy, yeah, sometimes I do. Yep, absolutely. That's why I say, like, I'm not a health nut. Like, there are things that I do that are patently unhealthy, like drinking 80 ounces of coffee, like, most days. There are just specific things like sugar and fast foods and stuff that I just don't do. Those happen to be healthy habits, but healthy habits don't comprise all the habits that I have. I just try to make sure that they like balance out in some way, in my own estimation. Corey, we're doing good today. I hope you're doing well. We've had a couple of close calls, but nothing too shifty. And we're actually making progress at some of our quests, so that's always good. Yeah, Alex, when I leveled tailoring in Wrath even, I had to use the auction house to buy a bunch of linen and wool early on, and like, so that was how I was able to level tailoring, and once I was able to do that, I could make some cool stuff with the auction house. But without the auction house, I imagine it would be very difficult to keep it at a point, or get to a point where you can make like super useful items for yourself. And the same is probably true of all production professions. It probably takes like a little bit of luck in some of the materials you have to find, and it just takes a lot of grinding and effort. The Plastic Nerd, have a good rest of your day, man. Thanks for stopping by. Corey, I feel you. Yeah, that's what happened to me with hardcore, is like once we started doing hardcore and I found out that I really liked it and that I really liked Classic Era, I kind of fell out of Wrath. We started to do the Joyous Journey, and then I just wasn't having any fun with it, and it didn't feel like there were lots of other players around having fun with it. So yeah, haven't really played on Wrath. We did like one night of some 5-man heroics on my 80 Pally. But I haven't even logged in since the TOC patch came out, and I thought I was going to, but yeah, I don't really want to. Right now I spend my time here on hardcore, and then sometimes in the evenings I've been playing a little bit of retail, trying to find if there's a character class that I'm gonna like. And unsurprisingly, I've kind of settled onto the Paladin in retail as a class that I like understand, and I kind of like pressing the buttons, and the class makes sense to me. So yeah, I've kind of fallen out of Wrath for now. I don't really have any big plans to get back into it. Brother Jerry, I'm not sure. I think like it may depend on like the content you're doing and the gear. Also maybe like the type of WoW, like what version of WoW. A lot of people tend to like Fury. You know, I feel like people gravitate towards, you know, Fury being the better for like pure DPS output. I personally like arms. I like arms for a lot of reasons. One of the functional reasons I like arms is like when you're looking for a weapon, you're only looking for one weapon as opposed to finding two weapons. You only need the one two-hander. So like for me, there's just lots of things that I like about arms. I like the aesthetic of the warrior wielding like a big weapon, one big weapon. I like the bleeds that you get for arm spec. But yeah, I think a lot of people would like numerically say Fury would be the more potential DPS. I've never played Fury. Especially in Classic Era, I feel like in Classic Era, you play Fury, you're gonna have to do like stance hopping, because I don't even think you can charge in Berserker stance. And while I can do stance dancing, like I'd really rather not. That's kind of the one detriment of like the Classic Era Warrior, is that you are often in positions where you want to stance dance. What I would say in that situation for getting back into like a decent workout routine would be to just go really slow. And so depending on what you're doing, if you're lifting some weights, just make sure that they're like really lightweight, and spend a couple weeks getting your body used to the motions that you're going to do and not focusing at all on like the weight or the intensity of it. So yeah, I would say for a while, like no intensity, very low weight, and just like do the motions until the motions you can do them with proper form, and you know it's not gonna hurt anything related to the operation. That being said, I'm not really one who can give really advice like that. It's almost medical advice, but I would just say from like a standpoint of caution, just kind of go slow. And the motion, how you do a motion, is always going to be more important to have like perfect form than it's going to be lifting more weight or be doing it at a higher intensity. Because if the form is off, you know, you always run the risk of getting hurt. But also when the form is off, you're not engaging the muscle groups the right way, so there's less benefit from the actual motion. Yeah, especially if you like lift weights, there's always that pressure to like you pick up some weights and you're like, oh, I used to lift twice as much as this, or I used to run twice as far. And yeah, especially if you did it for a while in life, you do always compare yourself to like your previous self, and it's just like you just can't do it. You got to consider yourself as a new person who's kind of fresh at it, and you have to give yourself like a lot of leeway. And eventually you just build consistency every day. You can do a little bit more. And eventually you can definitely get back to where you were at. This is one of the first times I've seen them successfully get the heal off. We've been critting them really hard right before they heal in the past. And then they just melt. Like that right there, that's usually what we do right before they heal. That was a good example. Yeah, you know, Sarah, the good thing is like the muscles actually remember for quite a long time. So even if you haven't used the muscles in a while, the good thing is like it's going to be easier the second time around, kind of reactivating them and getting them back to where they were than it was the first time around. Because yeah, if you've ever like been on a routine consistently and like built your body up, even if you have to stop, like the muscles have memory that helps them grow faster the second time around. And so like it will never be as hard as it was the first time to build good habits or to grow the muscles back. Because once they learn how to do it once, it just makes it easier for them in the future. And Powerpuff, I don't think so. That sounds not familiar to me at all. Karen, good evening to you as well. Thank you for being here. Miles, exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. Corey, I feel like my pulls right now have been really sloppy. I probably don't focus as much as I should. I've gotten really comfortable with the Paladin, and I've gotten really comfy with like making split decisions to kind of get out and save myself, so I'm not being as calculated maybe as one should. Maybe it looks like I'm being more calculated than I am. But no, half of what's going on is I'm stumbling upon people. Yeah, Sarah, you got to give yourself plenty of breaks and plenty of leeway with stuff like that. And also, like, you can't. Not only can you not compare yourself to your past self, but you got to make sure not to compare yourself to like where others are or what others could do. And yeah, every step of the way you can get stronger, but it's about taking small steps. Oh, snap, are we done? Oh, we're done with this one. Awesome. Okay, so these both turn in back in Booty Bay, and do we want to do anything else while we're out here? I don't think so. I really don't want to go after these yet. These goblins are a huge pain. It turns out they're a huge pain. Who would have thought goblins being a huge pain? Who would have thought instant spawns behind us? Let's get ourselves back to Booty Bay. Tommy, we got our mount, man. Yeah. We absolutely have our mount. We're a paladin, so we got the cheat. We got it for free, basically, at level 40. But yeah, there he is. Alright, let's head upstairs.
Time is money, friend! Keep it real!
So yeah, maybe we go over to Desolus now. Oh, the boat is showing up. I think that's a good sign. I think we take the boat to Ratchet and we fly to Desolus. We do have the Undead Kill quest, and then we'll grab the Slimes quest as well, and we'll do that. Let's get this one turned in really quick.
What can I do for you?
Okay, yeah, we'll get the rest of the experience points when we come back later. I want to get on this boat. That was pretty good timing. Do Ret Paladins go for Blessing of Kings? I mean, you could go for Blessing of Kings. You'd have to go into the protection tree pretty far to get to it. You need 11 points in protection to get down to it. And like the stuff you get on the way is not super useful for Ret spec. Like you could grab Devotion Aura, you could grab Precision and then 2 points in Toughness, and that would get you down to Blessing of Kings. We did not go that route. When we do a prot spec, you know, when we get a one-hander, we have a shield, then we'll definitely grab Blessing of Kings. But until we're actually going into prot, we're probably not going to bother with it. We could check the caves tactical. Yeah, we could have done that. I didn't do that today. I kind of thought we would do that, you know, most days, but I'm really bad about stuff like that. And then part of me gets discouraged about like the fact that, you know, the mob could be up and maybe someone just killed it. It's on a 30-hour timer. I think like And I hate using add-ons for stuff like that, but I think like an add-on telling you whether or not that mob was up would probably be the only way that you could like find it on purpose. Because yeah, you'd have to know if somebody had killed it, you'd have to know the respawn timing on it. I think it might be easier to find rare spawns when we're a bit higher level. You know, there's going to be less and less players around. But Alterac is kind of an area where like, yeah, there's lots of level 30s that can go up in there. I think we'll get something eventually. We're due for another like blue drop pretty soon, I feel like. I think when we're doing stuff in Tannerus and we're in higher level areas, I think we're going to be due for a weapon drop. Modex, this is our highest level hardcore character so far. This is it. We've gotten every other class killed at least once, and we've gotten a different Paladin killed at level 11 way back in the day. Way back in the day of like a month or 2 months ago. But yeah, this is our highest level in the hardcore challenge. Apparently only 1% of created hardcore characters ever get to 40, so... Red Robin, I think Sanctity Aura could be useful. We had a previous build where we were using Seal of Righteousness and Seal of the Crusader for like more holy damage. And with that build, Sanctity Aura probably would be pretty useful.
Talk to me.
But with a Seal of Command build, we're not doing as much holy damage as we would be with Righteousness. So with Seal of Command, we went into improved Red Aura instead. But yeah, I do think there is a build using Seal of Crusader and Seal of Righteousness where we could go into Sanctity Aura and it would be very, very useful. We are going to... Oh, where are we going? We're going to Nigel's Point. Well, apparently we have to fly way out of the way first. We might have had some lag. How are you guys feeling? Is there lag? We look good now. We're green now. How are we? Let me see if I can get back in. I'm gonna log back in. You guys let me know when we seem good. I did put my... We talked about the bitrate the other day. Oh, snap. That was fun. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, we were in flight, but we got dropped. We got dropped in, like, the weirdest of places. Look at this. Yeah, the lag seems good now. Yeah. And so YouTube wants me to set my bitrate to 9,000 kilobytes per second. That's what YouTube wants me to do. So every once in a while, it seems like they fire some lag at me. But I'm at 20 megabits because I feel like 20 megabits is like the low standard for decent quality in 1440p. So I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, it wasn't my internet though. So it was a YouTube thing with the lag, and I don't know why we got disconnected. But we are not in the best place now, which is weird. I'm like super concerned about this suddenly. I've never been dropped off a flight point and like fallen to the land below. I've never had that happen in the game. So yeah. You've been dropped by the Griffin, Alex? Shit, yeah, I've never been dropped by the flight point. Yeah, tactical, good point. Kill a couple Murlocs while we're here. Yeah, we might as well, right? Because how did we end up here? Why are we here? Why are we here if not for the epic that's going to drop off of this guy? Level 32 epic sword, right? Here we go. That was one of the scariest things that has happened to me in hardcore. I was happy to see that we were falling towards the water and that we weren't very high up. But if I were to die because of that, I would be putting in a ticket. Absolutely, there would be a ticket. And I would keep going. Because I don't believe that we should get killed by the game disconnecting me and dropping me off a flight point. I don't believe that would be okay with me. Yeah, I feel like that would be a ticket. I feel you, Miles. I feel you. I feel that way. We're letting this guy go, and he can come back whenever he's ready to die, because I'm not going to be able to swim as fast as him. And eventually he'll come back. Maybe, yeah. I don't know if it'd be an interesting clip. It'd be more interesting if we dropped onto a bunch of enemies and we managed to like fight our way out of it. That would be okay. I am gonna have a hard time getting back to anywhere safe. We are kind of on like an island that I purposely avoided when we quested here earlier. Like I didn't want to be on these islands at all at any point. And now we're kind of on these islands randomly for no good reason. Kind of threw a wrench into our entire plan. That's kind of what it did. I guess we make our way down to Theramore and we can jump on another flight and we can hope that doesn't happen again. Yeah, I've always thought I would have to link them to the VOD and give them the timestamp when stuff like that happens, definitely. I don't know how that would help most people. You know, most people are obviously not recording as they're doing the challenge. So for most people, I guess, you know, you really wouldn't be able to put in a ticket for much. I mean, because yeah, otherwise without a recording, I don't really know what they look at. But that's kind of why I don't worry about stuff like that, because yeah, I will point to the VOD and to the timestamp, and then I will keep playing the game as normal on the challenge, because I don't believe you should be able to get disconnected mid-flight for a game issue and have that be what kills you. Similar to the underwater disconnect, like if we had died to the underwater disconnect, I would have kept playing and put in a ticket. Because yeah, there's no way. There's too many legitimate ways to get killed in the game. I'm not going to get killed due to an actual bug. That's not going to happen. I'm just fighting some of these guys now, you know, because we're here, so I'll fight a few, we'll see if anything drops. And we'll just make our way down to Theramore. I don't know, yeah, I get what you're saying, Alex, like technically no, but I'd res and keep going, and then they can bite me, I guess. Everyone will have seen what happened, and since I don't play at all off recording, like I don't really care. You know? I don't really care. If I got killed to an in-game bug, I would put in a ticket, I'd res my character, and I'm gonna keep going. And yeah, that's it. Brandon, the journey is going well. We fell off a flight point. We got disconnected a bit ago on a flight point and we fell off. So unexpectedly, we're here near Theramore trying to get back to a flight point. It's been a little bit weird for the past couple minutes. Yeah, we're trying to get the Decimus actually. We just didn't make it. Oh yeah, it dropped us 5 feet from an island full of murlocs. So yeah, had we flown like 5 more yards and fallen, instead of falling right into the water, we'd have fallen right into the middle of an island that had about 7 or 8 level 37 Murlocs on it. So yeah, it could have very easily been a death, absolutely. And there was nothing at all we could do about it, so. Yeah, Lael, it dropped us off the flight point. Yep, we landed right here on the shore of this island, full of Murlocs. We've had to make our way down the coast. So yeah, it was weird. Never had that happen before. And I've disconnected in flight points in the past, and we come back in and we're just still on the flight point. That was the weirdest part.
Be seeing you.
Alright, I don't really care about following up on these quests right now, so I am just going to jump on the flight point and we'll try to get over to Desolus. Brandon, we can't bubble hearth. It's against the unwritten rules of the current hardcore system, is that we can't bubble hearth because for some reason they feel like that's more overpowered than other ways of not taking damage.
How are you?
Yeah, I had time to pop Divine Shield, but if I land in an island full of Murlocs, I'm not going to be able to outswim them fast enough to get away. If we landed in an enemy camp and we were on like actual land, then yeah, I could probably pop my shield and get away. But the Murlocs are gonna outswim me in the water, and they're gonna surround me and kill me. So I feel like it would have been a death. That's how I feel. Let's see. We are going to Nigel's Point.
Safe.
5 minutes and 33 seconds. Let's cross our fingers this time. Yeah, and I wouldn't care if they let it slide or not at this point. If I get killed to any shit that's a glitch in the game, we're just gonna keep playing like it didn't happen. And I'm just gonna have to be okay with that. I mean, I'm the person that died on the elevator, and I don't think the elevator is a glitch. I got killed at level 25 on the elevator in Undercity because I was trying to eat, I was trying to go up the elevator, I stepped off the elevator too late, I got my toes on the ledge, and then the elevator fell, and then I fell. And I don't count that as a bug. That's some shit that I did to myself by trying to eat while I was on the elevator, by hesitating at the top of it, like all the stuff I knew I shouldn't do. I took that L, but I won't take an L for being disconnected by the game server. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Exactly, Gina. I'm playing only against myself. This is a self-imposed challenge with a made-up add-on, with made-up rules. And so ultimately, I wouldn't really care that much. I'm completely honest about everything I do, and everything I do is recorded and streamed, so I don't really care. The elevator death really hurt me. I think about that character sometimes. I felt that the priest was basically at a point where similar to this character, I got to a point where I didn't know what was going to kill us. You know, because we were able to run away from basically any problem. So I got to that point on the priest where I was like, yeah, this feels good. This is going to be the one that makes it. And it probably would have made it quite far, at least, if it hadn't died on the elevator. Because yeah, I had gotten to a point where combat was so easy, it was kind of boring. And running away was just a matter of popping power word shield. And that was it. Yeah, it was the undead shadow priest. Yep, yep. I really liked the priest. The priest was like I said, the combat had gotten kind of boring, but it was a cathartic kind of boring, where like I could just kind of sink in and go. It's similar on this, but I feel like sometimes in the Paladin I get into even worse situations than I got into on the priest. Any news on the official hardcore servers? Not unless something went up on Wowhead today. And I haven't checked Wowhead today, Andrew, but I don't think, and a couple of people pointed this out, I don't think we're going to hear anything about the hardcore servers for a while. Because D4 hype is apparently still in full swing. D4 Season 1 is going to be coming out sometime in July. And so now we kind of think that we're not going to hear anything about it anytime soon. Yeah, I'd say, like Andrew right now, I'd say if you want to get a feel for whether you're going to dig hardcore or not, start now. Yeah, go on either Bloodsail Buccaneers if you're in the States, or Hydraxian Waterlords if you're in the EU. And try it out now, because you know they say summer, so summer goes all the way to September 20 something. And I do have a feeling that we are going to get the hardcore servers at the very end of summer. At the very end of what is technically summer is probably what we can expect. So either like the last week of August or the first couple weeks of September. So you got a little while. And at least that way you can kind of get in and see, like, you got to get a couple characters killed and find out if the game mode is for you. Because, yeah, it's definitely not a game mode that's for everybody. And I feel like you don't know if it's for you or not until you get that first character killed. Jason, did you miss anything? Well, like a couple minutes ago we were in flight. We were just on a flight and we got disconnected. And we fell out of the sky and we landed over here on an island full of murlocs, basically, just off the coast. Just a random DC while on a flight path. I've never had it happen to me before in 20 years. I've DC'd on flight paths and then I've logged back in to find myself just safely on the flight path still. This time we just fell. Luckily we fell right into the water, and that we didn't land on the island full of level 37 murlocs. We just landed slightly near it. Yeah, just a bug trying to get us killed essentially. Has been the most exciting thing. Oh yeah, Andrew, if you've already played some hardcore in other games, then you know exactly how it feels to delete a character. You're probably good to go. Absolutely. Now, that being said, I'm not really familiar with PoE or how long it takes to level up a character, but the time investment in Classic Era especially is quite large. So, we are level 41. We've played for 5 days, 5 hours, so 5 times 24, I can't do that math, but some of you guys can. We're over 100 hours in. And to get from 40 to 60, we've probably got about 100 more hours to go. So I think it's just like the time is different. Like you could play a character for 100 hours and have it die. But like I said, I'm not familiar with how fast you level up in PoE, so I can't really speak to it too much. I think if the clip had resulted in something a little bit more interesting happening, like if we had fallen from the sky and had to like fight off or run from the murlocs, I think that'd be a cool clip. But you know what actually happened was a little boring and just weird. If it had killed us, or if it had been like a cool escape, then I would have taken the time to like maybe clip it. I don't really do a lot of like clips of stuff. I'm not really a shorts person either. The 30 Undead Ravagers. Alexa, would I suggest Wrath Classic or Classic Era to play on now? You know, I'm biased because I kind of fell out of Wrath of the Lich King. I feel like if you haven't played much of either, then, you know, giving both versions a try and see how you feel about them. Make sure you're on like a high or medium population server, no matter which route you go. And they're both different. They're both different, but like Wrath of the Lich King is still like kind of close to Classic. It's Classic, but like a step towards retail, a small step towards retail. But it's really hard to recommend people one or the other. I always tell people to try out all versions of WoW, because with your sub you get access to all 3 versions. So I always tell people to try out all of them and like level a character to level 10, 20 and kind of see how you feel. Because they are all so very different and they all have really good things about them. Andrew, that's awesome. Yeah, the Tauren Warrior was one of my favorite playthroughs. He kind of died in Northrend, but he died in Northrend because I fell out of Wrath. Like, not because I fell out of being interested in the character, but because I just really have not been motivated to play any Wrath of the Lich King. For me, I got to a point where I realized it was a done game. I had done all the content before, so like a lot of people who play Wrath, you know, they didn't farm all the raids and get all the gear already, but I did all that stuff. I did it quite extensively at the time, so I got to a point where I felt zero need to do it again.
Hey, how you doing?
This is not the one I want. That's Bone Collector. I'm looking for Ghost Oplasm Roundup, although, could we do Bone Collector?
Be good.
We can't because our quest log is full, so what are we gonna drop? Let's drop some oranges. We don't need the oranges. That's good.
Time is money, friend.
Can we do this one? Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, Jason, the mount was just a spell we learned at level 40. We had to do a quest. We had to talk to the quest giver, then talk to him again, and then he taught us the spell. But we didn't have to go do anything, and we didn't have to spend any money. Alex, it was basically the same with the lock quest, but you had to go to Ratchet. That's not too bad. Yeah, just going to Ratchet's not bad. I was kind of worried it would be like you'd have to kill an elite or something on the Warlock. I thought I heard that their quest was a little bit harder, but it was probably the elite mount. I don't want to go up there towards the Horde banner. That would be a terrible idea, obviously. Let's find a different way into the Kodo graveyard that doesn't involve walking right to the Horde town, making a bunch of flagged friends. I was kind of hoping we'd be able to get away from these, like as they spawn into the world, we wouldn't have to fight them, but it looks like they spawn in like super aggressive and we'll probably just have to fight every one of them. Ricardo, how are Paladins performing in Classic? Well, in Hardcore Classic, they're doing really well. I really don't know if we're talking about like Endgame Classic, anything about that, but in Hardcore, Paladins are super survivable, so it's been a really good journey. Yeah, Ricardo, I have no idea about their performance in raids, my man. I do not play endgame classic era, so I really can't speak to that one. I don't think that they're super good for like DPS or anything. I think that if people want Pallies in like classic era stuff at endgame, I feel like they either just want them for their buffs or like for heals or tank, but I'm not 100%. As I'm not really a big endgame player, especially not in classic era. AV, good day to you as well. Thank you for being here. Ricardo, for this one, this is all about the hardcore challenge, and it's about getting to 60 without dying. So that's what we're doing on this particular playthrough. Is the challenge here is simply to take a character from level 1 all the way to 60 without dying a single time. And so on this guy, once I get him to 60, like, I'm happy with that. That's going to be quite an achievement. And as far as like doing endgame stuff, there's going to be a new season of Classic WoW at the end of the year, and in the seasonal content, it's not going to be hardcore stuff. So I think that if I want to engage with some endgame raids and stuff in Classic Era, it'll be in the seasonal content and not on the hardcore character. Because yeah, this guy is all about the journey, which is mostly what Classic Era is about anyway. You know, there are endgame raids and dungeons, but not to the same degree or the same way that you would find in retail or even in Wrath of the Lich King. Oh, that one didn't spawn an enemy. Maybe they only spawn an enemy most of the time? Okay, that's weird. That one didn't spawn an enemy either. I'll take it. I shouldn't complain too much. Because, yeah, the alternative is they would just spawn them every time. We probably can't get in there without fighting the vultures. Let's see if... Yeah, these respawn super fast. That's really nice. Ricardo, the community is really active. Even if you're not doing the hardcore challenge, the regular Classic Era servers are really active. And the cool thing is that they've kind of integrated the servers with a little bit of like layering amongst the servers. So even if you're on like a lower pop server, you're always going to see people around. As far as like community behavior, I've only had good experiences with groups and with people in Classic. I haven't really had any toxic or negative experiences with all that I've played. Now that being said, a lot of my Classic Era experience right now has been on the hardcore server, where you don't really group up a lot. But yeah, all my experiences have been good. The community is really active, and everyone seems pretty chill. More chill than groups in retail trying to do 5-man regular dungeons and trying to play like their Mythic plus 20 players. It's more chill than that. Do I want to go turn this one in? We don't have to. We're going to have to run all the way to the north anyway once we do this because we did not set the Hearthstone anywhere, which is fine. Let's come down to the other side of the graveyard and we'll grab the other quest down here. TechZ, yeah, I want to say that too. I feel like though I haven't been in enough groups recently to make that statement, but I have been in some really toxic 5-man groups in retail. So that's kind of the experience that I have to go by, is yeah, I did a couple 5-mans on my Drakthir, and it was the worst experience that I've ever had in World of Warcraft. So, yeah.
Hurry back!
That's really all I have to go by. It does make the Hearthstone like less of an important thing when we're inside of a zone. I like leaving it in Booty Bay because Booty Bay gives us access to much of Eastern Kingdoms. And it also gives us the boat to jump on over to Kalimdor whenever we want. So yeah, for me, Booty Bay is the perfect location for the Hearthstone. For our Alliance character here, especially. I don't need to be this way, I need to be going over to the east. Alright, we have a little bit of company here. We have a Night Elf Hunter. We can... I don't know what they want. They probably want Wisdom. Let's give the pet Might. And these guys are only level 38, so that's actually not bad. Now that being said, we have to kill 30 of them, so we might be here for a minute. Okay, we have a surprising number of people here. We have another Paladin here, level 38. Oh, no. Oh, these are the Ghost Plasm guys. Okay. So, I have this box. We have to... what do we do with this? So wait, did he use the item and it spawned these guys, maybe? Yeah, they all slowly went aggressive, which was a little bit weird. The ghosts that spawn from the box are neutral at first, yeah, then turn aggressive. They spawn about 10-ish. Shit. Okay. That's a lot of guys to spawn. Now that they're aggressive, it's like, how would we ever pull them? Oh, are they disappearing? Okay. Oh, look at that. They're aggressive, but I pulled this one and it did not pull the other dude. That's interesting mob behavior. We'll have to kind of pay attention to these guys a bit. Physical and magic damage taken is increased by 15% for 15 minutes. What in the actual F? A flat 15% increase to the damage taken? Why? Why? Oh god. That's terrifying. Let's see if we can do the same thing. Let's pull this guy. I can't dispel whatever that is. Yeah, I tried. It's a curse. I have Purify. Can we get rid of curses? Did I pick something else up that I'm not aware of? I don't think so. Oh, wait, nope. So he popped that down, it's gonna start spawning them in. Okay. I don't want to put mine down too. I don't want like double spawns. Oh, that's just a Ravager. I really appreciate how there's no social aggro among these guys, and also, like, even the ones that are aggressive, their aggro radius seems like it's probably really, really low. Oh, we do have turn undead. Yeah. Okay, and these guys are technically undead. This will fear them? Compelled to flee. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, thank you for that. We could definitely get into a spot where we need this. Alright, see, that time we got 2 of them. And we didn't really do anything different. Oh, that's a cast. Well, that pull didn't work out the way I wanted it to, and not at all. I'd love to drop the other 2 and maybe just keep the 1. Okay, we dropped one of them. We dropped one of them. No, we didn't drop any of them. Yeah. We might not ever leash them. This is going to be a potion situation. This is probably going to be a lay out of hands type of situation. We don't seem to be able to drop them at all, which is quite concerning, actually. Rethinking my life right now. Okay, we didn't use lay on hands, so that's good. Yeah, that was special. You know, the special thing about these guys is that sometimes you can aggro one of them and the others ignore you, and other times you aggro one of them and 3 of them come at you. So yeah, maybe we let those guys die out, and then we plant this one more time, and then we grab one of them while they're not aggressive, and then we are done with this quest, and we don't deal with that anymore, because that was not fun. It took them a long time to leash. Had this area been full of other enemies, it might have been RIP. Yeah. Yeah, you can wave to Rexar, but you absolutely cannot bump into him. That could be an upgrade. 7 agility, or 4 agility, 7 strength over 4 strength, 4 stamina. Tactical, for what we have on us, we need a mage or a druid, I think. Andrew, that's awesome, man. I'm glad I can help in that way. I still have PTSD from when my kid wouldn't stop crying when he was super young. I basically have, like, I'm so terrified of, like, evenings and night times because of, like, just how bad, like, the crying was for me as being, like, a very noise-sensitive person. Like, I literally have PTSD. Like, every time evening comes, I start to feel, like, super anxious, even though he's 8 years old now. And he doesn't cry as much as he did then. I'm happy to be able to help in that way because, yeah, my kid when he was young, he had rough nights, and it made life very challenging, and it has had long-lasting effects on me as a person to this day. Yeah, tactical. He has a level 5 mage in classic. He's played a little bit, and I let him play when he's interested in it. Like when he asks about it, I let him play. But I never really push him to play or bring it up. Yeah, Marlena, he plays like Minecraft a bunch, he plays Pokemon. Mainly he's into Minecraft, yeah. He gets in and out of other things. He basically beat Cult of the Lamb all by himself, even though Cult of the Lamb is not a kid's game. So yeah, he plays games, but just Minecraft right now. He's really great at building stuff. He like blows me away with some of the stuff he can build and how fast he can do it. Yeah, sometimes he makes stuff and he does stuff with angles and I'm like, how did you know to like make the angle of it like that to make it appear that way from a distance? And he's like, I don't know, it's just how I do it. I'm like, okay, cool, you have like an innate understanding of shapes and angles and three-dimensional shapes that I don't have. But he hasn't got into that kind of stuff yet. He needs to learn to read a little bit more proficiently. Like before he tackles like many more different types of games, like he's a beginning reader. So he just needs to be able to read a little bit more to like be able to get through tutorials and stuff, and then the kinds of games he will be able to play will be bigger. Like we have a game called Parkosaurus that's like a dinosaur theme park that's like, you know, more kid-friendly than the Jurassic World one. So like I'm sure he'd love to play that, but it's like you gotta be able to read pretty efficiently. So probably one more year, and then he'll be able to move into like other types of games and be exposed to like other genres. I mean, it seems like the respawn rate could crank up a little bit here. We haven't been having a lot of guys to fight. We've only got a couple of other people in the area, but it's been enough competition to not have a lot going on. This is this guy. We should probably just kill this guy to get him out of the way. Yeah, let's take him out. The new trading post stuff went up today. You know what the other cool thing is about the trading post? Like the coolest thing for me is that so far they have not put the attendees up for sale on the cash shop. So that's the best thing for me is that so far another patch day has come and gone, and so far you still can't buy the trading post currency off the cash shop. So that's good. The nether drake sounds cool. I'm assuming the tiger cub is probably a pet and not a mount, right? Yeah, Andrew, the currency was there. We just don't know how they're gonna put it into the game. They're if you look at the amounts that they have data mined, like all the small amounts, they're not gonna sell it for cash on the cash shop. You're not gonna be able to go to the cash shop and spend $5 to get 300 tendies. Now, what they're probably gonna do is they're probably gonna start including tendies like in bundles and stuff. So when you go to get your 6-month sub, you're gonna be offered like an amount of tendies just to like kind of sweeten the pot a little bit, right? Like maybe they even offer a small amount for people who do their month sub. So like you got your month sub going and you're getting fed a little bit of currency too. But they're not gonna sell it flat out for just a monetary amount. I don't think they're gonna attach it to other things. That's why if you look at the data mine images, there are so many different increments. And that's not what you do when you're selling a currency for cash. You only have a few increments, and then you have the big one that you want to draw their attention to. You don't have 40 different increments when you're going to sell a currency straight up for cash on a cash shop. You do that when you're kind of trying to tie different amounts into different things, like different bundles, different subs, stuff like that. SB, I plan on doing that stuff on the official hardcore server. So yeah, on the official hardcore server, we're going to put together a guild, and then we'll do some 5-mans. But for this playthrough, I'm just trying to stay alive till 60. It's one of those days, Alex, there's lots of people in your guild getting killed. Yeah, that's tough. I feel like weekends are often like that. I feel like a lot of people who play a lot on weekends, like they don't get to play a lot during the rest of the week, so they get on the weekends and they play a bunch, and then they invariably get killed. But today being a Tuesday, it's kind of unexplainable. Especially at 3 in the afternoon. Jess, Tentris, good afternoon, guys. Just 19 more levels, yeah. Yeah, just 19 more levels. It's only like 100 hours of gameplay, 120 hours of gameplay. No big deal. Yeah, I think we're like 120 hours in so far, and we probably got about the same amount to go. So yeah, it's only 19 levels. Like I try to think about it that way too, because it's better to think about it as only 19 levels than to think about it as 150 hours, 200 hours. Yeah, definitely. Just from here on in, every level is super rewarding. Yeah, especially because, you know, as we level the amount of other players who have reached that point, it becomes a smaller number. So yeah, definitely every level at this point is really gratifying. It was nice of him to like summon this Ravager, and at least the Ravager counts towards the kill quest. That was actually kind of nice. I appreciate him for that. Alex, the dwarf near the inn has a demon killing quest. I was wondering if we would ever get a quest to kill the demons. I must have missed that one when we were back in town. But yeah, if they have a quest to kill demons, we will definitely be doing that at some point. It's awesome. Yeah, that could be. I'm not sure what we would not have done yet. Brutal politics we don't need. And that is an elite quest. Bodyguard for hire we never did. Yeah, I don't know. You think the prereq is a low-level quest? Yeah, that could be. It's possible that we skipped something when we first came here and that we never came back in time to pick it up while it was relevant. I can check low-level quest and Questie in a second here. Whitney, enjoy the nap. Thank you for being here and for hanging out. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not sure even turning on the low-level quest tracking did not find it, so yeah. However, I realize we are done with this quest, so let's get out of here, and we'll go turn these in. JD, I am not sure about a Paladin quest for a weapon. I don't know. If that's the case, nobody has told me yet. This should do it right here. Show all quests below level range. Anything that we didn't pick up that's low level should now show up. Yeah, that one's on too.
Yo! Have a good one!
Seeing as how we don't have a neck piece, that's actually huge. Yeah, I'll take the 7 stamina. Absolutely, over no neck piece. That's an easy one. The Kodo Graveyard, I did not turn in at the Kodo Graveyard. I knew I had forgotten to do something. That's just going to add a bunch of running around. Always fun. With no mount, I'd be turning this quest in a different time. it would be a different time that we would turn this one in if I didn't have a mount. I probably would not have been able to bring myself to run it down here for it, but I might have also been paying more attention to doing things efficiently if I didn't have a mount. Although it's me, so I doubt that would be true, actually. Yeah, this wasn't so bad with the mount.
What's up? Glad I could help.
The 30 Skeletons quest. You know, the 30 Skeletons quest has a follow-up, right? Is that what we're talking about, the follow-up from this one? I thought that eventually took us into, like, kill the bosses of Scarlet Monastery or something like that. I remember, like, a really good one-hand weapon reward from killing all of the bosses in all the Scarlet dungeons. But yeah, we didn't do the Scarlet dungeons, and we're probably not going to double back to do them all. Oh, Ra, you'd never seen Desolus before? Oh yeah, Desolus is kind of neat. I like the part of it over here is cool that has like some vegetation and stuff on it. There's also a part over here that's really cool that we might never get to go into that's like full of demons. It's a pretty interesting zone for one that's basically just moon rock. It has a couple of different features to it that make it pretty cool. I don't mind spending time here anymore. I used to hate this zone a lot, but it was before I discovered like the little gems of the area that look like very, very different from anywhere else you would go. Alex, the quest chain starts in Ironforge. Reclaimer's business in Desolus. Yeah, you know, I saw that quest and didn't grab it. Damn it. I know exactly what quest you're talking about. Last time I saw it, I was like, don't need that. Yeah, I did have the perfect opportunity to grab it when we were doing the Badlands stuff, I think. Niman just says, Classic is copying Turtle WoW. I won't even be tempted by that, my man. Welcome to the stream, though. Thank you for being here. Yeah, David, that's fair. You know, before Classic, I primarily just played Horde. So I had not seen a lot of stuff on the Alliance side prior to Classic launch. It was an okay try. There have been better tries when it comes to getting me to talk about something. Alright, let's get this one turned in, and we'll see. I don't know that we'll be able to do the follow-up.
Need help?
Take Brother Anton's letter of commendation to Rayleigh the Devout in South Shore. So we can do this part for a little bit of experience.
Go with honor.
So that's okay. But yeah, guys, I am going to take a break here for today. It's been a really good time. I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with me. We will hit 42 next time. Yeah, I'm not going to push today. We've done a lot of pushing recently, and I just kind of want to end it here. And next time we will pick up, and we will make it a goal to hit 42, and see what kind of cool stuff we learn then. Thank you guys again for being here. As always, take care of yourselves out there in the real world, and take care of each other. And we'll see you back here again in Azeroth very soon. Bye for now.